Hey guys, this is Brandon Myers with SEO Dentist. It's nice to have you with me. I am doing this recording to essentially explain how to verify a domain on Google Search Console in addition to Google Analytics. This is a step-by-step guide on how to do the verification code method for both of these processes. They are indeed separate processes, so if you want Analytics access and Search Console access, you will need to do this separately. But at the same time, this method works for both. So if you need some clarity on how to do it, this video will certainly help you. There are two methods to verifying your domain with Google that are very mainstream for web developers. The first is through the DNS, which is available on your hosting provider. And the secondary method is through WordPress or injecting code into a header area of your website that Google can then scrape and verify. So we're going to go over both of those methods today. You can see here I have Taher Family Dental up, which is one of our clients. We set up Search Console for them a little over a month and a half ago. And we're already starting to see data from that. You get all sorts of benefits from something like this, like being able to see performance and click-through rates and impressions. So analytics and Search Console data are really, really important. And this step, while very simple, is pretty critical in really a really mature implementation. Sorry to stumble on my words there. So for this exercise, we're going to go over the DNS first. I have pulled up a domain that I don't use on one of my registrars, which is GoDaddy. I'm doing that because most people in the world use GoDaddy as a registrar, so from a DNS standpoint, this is a pretty good place to start with a sample. You can also see up here on my top bar that I have Uniregistry, which I recommend much more as a registrar, but it's all the same because they're now owned by GoDaddy. Either way, this process, though, is very simple and completely standardized across whatever DNS you have or whatever registrar you have. You'll always have the same DNS setup. So on this one, I've got Review Los Angeles, which doesn't exist right now. I've owned it for years. Never really wanted to do anything with it, so I've just had it parked. If you go up here to Manage DNS, you'll start seeing what I'm talking about, which is all these records here. And now this is what Google needs to be able to access. There are a couple things here like A records and NS records and C names. Those are going to be complicated to you if you're a dentist. Basically, it's how the IP and the web domain points around the internet so that it can serve itself correctly, not only through how you browse it, but email servers, all that type of stuff. It's also a citation area, which is why Google is looking for access to it. And all they're looking for is something called the TXT record, which doesn't have any functionality at all associated with it outside of verification. The text record is there to indicate a piece of text. Google's going to give you the piece of text to place on your DNS or your website so that you can officially have that, adjoinment with them. But once that's done, they've verified the property and they feel comfortable with giving you all the data that it's getting. And that's the main reason for the verification process. So if we go over here to performance and I wanted to add a new property and I'm in the DNS right now, if I want to go through and do review losangeles.com, and I continue, it's trying to verify it for me. It's going to say I should do it through GoDaddy. All I have to do to start verification is press this button, right? And it takes me into my domain manager. Gives you just a very simple connect button because it's already realized that this account is synced up. It's got my name up here. We connect. It verifies. Which may take a minute. Okay, so ownership failed verification, which is actually kind of cool. So now I can go through and edit this through manual by going through and saying any DNS provider, and it's going to say select the record type .txt, right? So we've got our site over here. I'm going to add a TXT record, okay? I'm going to go back over here to what Google wants me to do. It's going to say copy the text record below into the DNS configuration for Review Los Angeles. So the reviewlosangeles.com piece is going to be the piece that we put here. And the value is just going to be pasted. And now I'm going to add the record. Yes, it should be on your main domain. Did you see that? You can't have it because it already exists. So, this is just not going well, is it? I guess the record already exists. So I'm going to refresh this and see. Yeah, it does. Okay, so TXT at being the domain, because it's just going to fill the domain in for you anyway, and it doesn't seem like GoDaddy likes it when you put in the full domain. And then the Google site verification value. So if we go through and verify this again, I would think that this would be verified. Yep, there you go. So that really took you through kind of the two methodologies of verification. You can most of the time do it just through that syncing action that Google gives you. But sometimes you have to enter the TXT verification instead. You can also do it via WordPress. And so they're going to ask you for the same type of code methodology. And what we'll have to do is do it again via WordPress. So look for that second video, which will be coming through. But I hope this has at least helped you understand how to verify your property via DNS. And I hope you have some success with it. If you don't, please contact us, and we can certainly help. But it is a very straightforward process if you follow these easy steps. So I'm hoping that this DNS verification step-by-step guide helps you and that you find lots of success with it. Cheers!